blog entry 109. And that is from 2/16 of 2023. So what I'm experiencing here in this blog entry, it's the past few blog entries where I had that really big move into the subtle body and then settle into like a new way of being inside and being in my meditation space and transcending and things like that. So this is continuing that same chain of thought. Today it became clear to me that as a person begins to work more fully from the energetic body, the angels are able to work with us in deeper, more direct ways. They begin shifting and realigning our inner will, sometimes even influencing what we feel drawn to do or not do, in order to guide us into an alignment with what we are truly meant to fulfill, and also to help us, as we achieve more of that alignment, we can feel what pleases God, or pleases Radha and Krishna. So it's kind of that integration and that relational weaving it more and more into your life. So this is how it kind of becomes, it's like an organic process. So as you grow and you change and you shift, you just naturally gravitate towards it, and then you naturally can feel more and more what pleases God. It's pretty cool. This kind of transition is rare. When I asked inwardly today, it seemed that maybe 1 out of every several hundred or even thousand of people have been through it. The experience is intense. It feels like repeatedly becoming all parts of yourself you dislike. The parts you've resisted, rejected, or hidden over and over. These parts arise, not to torture, but to be transmuted. It's a grinding process that slowly erodes the non-divine aspects of the ego, clearing space for something far more sacred to emerge. As we shift more and more into this soft, squishy, energetic form, this light body maybe, you could even call it, the angels who also work to protect us, because this kind of inner radiance can draw attention of many subtle forces. They surround us, keeping us safe, steady as we continue crossing the material ocean step by step, breath by breath, and moving closer and closer to Radha and Krishna's love, and carrying more and more of their love as a vehicle for them. So that's the one thing to keep in mind as you're doing your spiritual practice and it becomes more and more purifying. That purification and the growth that you experience, and again, hold all the space you can for that process, and be gentle with yourself when it comes through and it gets overwhelming, because those days will come. But know that you're moving forward, and that even though materially we can't really measure spiritual growth, because it's not really a material process. We can feel it and we can experience it and we can have a knowing of it from those experiences, but we can't really measure it, like we can measure the size of a house or the size of a boat or the size of land or a certain value in a certain currency in a certain way, and that's something that's really important to keep in mind too. Spiritual growth, it's for the soul and it's for your love and you're growing closer to God, that's something that goes with you forever. So whenever your mind tries to fall back into taking it apart in one of these heavier purification times, when you're taking out bigger karmas and a bigger anartha from a past life and you're purifying in that way, and the mind tries to loop on saying it isn't worth it and you're not really doing anything, it's important to remember that. We can't really measure it in a material way. We can experience it, we can feel it, and we can know it as a knowing. But that's another way that the mind will try and trick us out of sticking with it and staying on course and working on the things we're meant to work on, because the mind is a wild monkey as we're trying to train it and get it more spiritual, and so we can integrate that in our lives in a really nice, fluid way. All right, well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you have a chance, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's super helpful. All right, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.